Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. This is one of those cars you just don't need to say anything. I just throw this down on here, let you look at the car for a minute, and I think it does enough talking. But in case you need me to say something, I'll say a few small things. But let's walk around and look at a couple things that are standard, that are optional, and just great paint. So let's check this out first. Check this out for a second. Look how crystal clear that paint is. You know, when you're looking online at these cars, be careful, man, because some of these cars are heavily scratched. I've had body work that's been ugly, things like that, and you know, the shine that it looks like it has is definitely not the shine that it really does have. Just great styling. The styling is really holding up well with this car. I mean, it's really awesome. Okay, so these right here, these are kind of cool. These Fender Badges here, you can get decals, which are $50, or you can get these, which are a couple grand, because the fenders are different because they're molded in from the factory, and the Scuderia badges are bolted from the inside. Factory wheels, we actually repainted the wheels. They were 10 years old and they were just a little scuffed up. Got Pirellis all the way around, which is nice. Gives you an idea of if the person really cared about their car. You know, they didn't throw a set of Chinese tires on here hoping to save some money. You know, if you owned this car and it was your baby, you're going to put the very best tire you can get on there. You're not going to overpay for tires, but you're going to put the very best tire you can get on the car. This is an indication of what that person thought about their car, which is really nice. Come on back here for a second, check this out. This is really nice. Part of the design of this car is aesthetics as well as function too. You know, as cars like this that are powerful and can hit you know, close to the 200-mile-an-hour mark, a lot of things happen over 150 miles an hour. For instance, as the air gets underneath of the car, these cars can get what we call, we'll use the technological term, squirrely. Really what it means is that as the faster you go, the more turbulence is underneath. And as that comes along, it starts to lift the car up. Once the car starts to lift up more and more, it's getting less traction in the rear, and that's when the car starts to wiggle around. And that's what you don't want. You especially you want stability. Stability is paramount when it comes to high-speed driving. So for instance, let's look under here for a second. This is called a diffuser, right? If you look underneath the car is completely flat, and the air gets channeled in here to create downforce. It actually sucks the car down to the road. The faster you go, the more power is needed to overcome this, but it keeps the car stable at high speeds, and that's what you want. Because you don't have the engine over the front wheels, those things can get loose and what have you, and by creating downforce, actually pulls the car down to the ground. So all this is a great look and great styling. Its design is functionality more so to keep the car stable at these high speeds. And you say to yourself, well, that's cool and what have you, but how does it get to those high speeds? Well, how about I show you how it gets to those high speeds. Right here, probably one of the greatest styling features of any car ever is when Ferrari came out and put this in here. Look at that, man. Who would, other than the Italians, I mean, who would come up with, how about we go ahead and not only do we make a great looking engine when you open the hood, now we're gonna make a great looking engine with the engine cover closed. And you can see through there, it broke new ground for these cars, and it's just amazing to look at. All right, let's take a peek at this power plant for a second. All right, check this out. Come inside a little bit for a second. So you have square tubing. Square tubing is stronger than round tubing is what they say. Powder coated and winkled valve covers remind me of like the Chrysler Hemi valve cover that had that special paint on it also, but in black. Dual air boxes. You're talking about 3.6 liter V8. You know, the Viper uses 8 liters. These make around 400 horsepower, and the Viper needed almost 8 liters to make that same kind of power. So it gives you an idea of how much technology is in here. Red line on this car, right at 9,000 RPMs, okay? Check this out. It's a Tubi exhaust. So it's an Italian-made exhaust. It's all polished, labeled here, freer flowing, and sounds, I mean, spectacular. This is also what they call a dry sump engine, meaning it doesn't have a giant oil pan like some cars do. The bottom of the engine is flat, and the oil is taken out of what would normally be the big oil pan at the bottom and moved to a tank on the side, so they could lower the engine into the car and make everything flat. That way you have plenty of oil over there. Doesn't have to worry about sloshing around and not getting enough oil because it has a tank full of oil, and it's great for racing and things like that. But this is just beautiful to look at. This comes with full service records. It's been recently serviced. Paint is beautiful. Let's take a peek under the hood for a second. Okay, this is kind of nice. So here you got your spare tire. You have your tools. books and records, set of clear mats that would normally go over top of the tan floor mats that are in the car. That's your nice Rosso Corsa sticker here for the paint code. Very, very nice. You know, the outside styling of this car is spectacular, but the Italians are also known for some pretty cool styling inside too, meaning clothes, furniture, things like that. You know, you got Armani, you have all kinds of Italian designers, Brioni, just nice stuff. And here, these are Daytona seats with the stitching inside here, which look really nice. They're optional too, like we talked about the Fender Badges. Got your upgraded sound system in it. But really, this car's remained virtually all stock, which is kind of cool, because we can see the way the car rolled off the showroom floor. And now, you know, these cars were selling well into the 200,000 plus range. The cheapest, we'll say the cheapest, right? The least expensive Ferrari convertible right now, Spider, is $260,000. And this car here, priced in the 70s, is, I don't want to say it's free, but is a spectacular bargain. Let's look around inside a little bit more. Got power seats. This right here, you just move the lever, pick it up. This is reverse. Okay, this is drive, forward. Power mirrors, power windows, and the top is fully powered too, which is kind of cool to do, and I'll show you how that goes up in a second too. You don't have to do anything. It folds underneath this this tonneau cover. Tonneau cover pops up, the top comes up, the top even latches itself. Okay, it does everything. You don't have to do anything. 10,000 RPM tach, 220 mile an hour speedometer. Okay, full gauges obviously, and just wicked performance. One of the things this does have is it has some switches over here, and one of them is a sport mode. The sport mode is really cool. What it does is it changes the entire suspension on the car, okay? Firms everything up. Also changes calibration in the engine, and it also, on downshifts, will blip the throttle for you automatically. So you sound like this incredible race car driver as you bang down the gears, right? And it manages everything there for you. So the sound is, you know, when it matches the revs to the engine, it's just beautiful. Anyway, we're talking about styling for a minute, and I forgot to mention, like, the entire interior is covered in leather. Go check this out. This is all hand-stitched leather. The dash is leather, the pillars are leather, the door panels are leather, this piece, the console. I mean, it's just an incredible work of art, not to mention ridiculous performance. It would be different if this was like, you know, a Luxo barge that was just beautifully crafted and just kind of went slow. But, I mean, you're talking about wicked power and incredible styling inside. And I don't think that you'll be able to buy these for any less for the rest of Ferrari's history. So these are great buys. If you can get one, I'd definitely get it. So anyway, enough of my talking. How about we start it for you so you can hear what it sounds like. Hey, I wanted to make sure you guys knew there wasn't a problem with the car. Just it's a little wet and cold this morning, and it's just warming up right now. So, but anyway, I just wanted you guys to know too, that was only 5,000 RPMs. There's another 4,000 all the way to 9,000 RPMs. Just super easy how the top works. It's one button, which is very nice. Do it while the car is running, while you're at the light. It's kind of cool. It's a little ballet that it does. And it rolls up the windows for you if you hold the switch down long enough. It kind of finishes up the whole thing. In closing up this car here, this is not a matter of whether it's a spectacular car, whether it's a beautiful color, beautiful interior, does it have the right options and features. At the end of the day, can you see this in your life? It's a great car to take to work on one day or take out on a Sunday and go for a drive. It will completely change how you feel about your work week. It makes it all worthwhile. There's some effort in what you do for a living, I'm sure, and if those efforts translate into something like this, it's okay. And the nice thing about it is this will never be a $20,000 car. This car is always going to be worth a lot of money, so it doesn't really cost a lot to own these things, which makes them really nice. Anyway, awesome car, 360 Spider. Call us 301-816-1000, and we'll tell you all about it.